you want to get the value at the 0 index. Okay, now you want to access na, so what it give the result? It give the type error. Type error set object is not subscriptable. Okay, so as per these statements we can't access set values by referring an index. 0 is an index. Okay, so that is not, you keep this in comment. So but how to access set values? By loop. By loop we can access the, so here you comment here, we can access set values by for loop. Okay, understood that we can access set values by for loop. Okay, I told you in many classes for loop, while loop, how to use the for loop. Okay, so simply write here for loop, what for structure is what, I in what, take any set name, y is a set here, then after this is colon. Now after that print you keep I. So what happened here, this for loop, I have briefed very clearly what is the structure of for loop. In Java we need to say in Java for loop three things we need to brief. One is that initialize I to be initialized, I value to be initialized. Initialized means I value to be set up. Initialized. Okay, I value to first condition, I value to be initialized. For value, next is what, condition. One condition we need to explain. Then after increment and decrement. Increment and I to be incremented or decremented. Simply I have written decremented. These three conditions we need to follow in Java, but in Python no need to I value to be initialized, means we need to set up the I value. Before that in Java we need to write like this, I is equal to 0 whatever. In Java we need to write integer, I is equal to 0, after that this semicolon. So it is in Java. Comment I am writing here Java, so I am commenting here. So but in Python no need to initialize, no need to set up the I is equal to 0. Automatically Python interpreter understood that I is equal to 0. Then condition, one condition we need to mention that I less than or equal to one condition. So loop rotation, how many times that loop to be rotated, so that condition, example bracket, I am writing the bracket here, I less than 5, this is the condition. So within this condition, what do you mean of this? Initially I is equal to 0, so I will be printed, means 0 will be printed. After that increment, I increment and decrement in Java means how we write this, I is equal to I plus 1, this is increment. Decrement means minus. So whenever I is equal to 0, so print I means 0 will be printed. After that incrementation, I plus 1, 0 plus 1, 1. Now 1 will be printed. But at 0 position, what will be the value? That value will be printed in Y. Where is Y? At here 10 is there. Okay, so that 10 will be printed. Okay, after that next value will be printed. Loop every time it rotates and it takes the values from the starting. At whenever I is equal to 0, loop goes to Y, it takes the first value. Okay, and that value will be printed. Whenever I incremented 0 plus 1, 1, so that moment next item will be printed. Next incrementation, I is equal to I plus 1, so 1 plus 1, 2, so next item will be printed. Like that, condition not until the condition is added in Java, but here we need not to return any condition. So these all for Java. Here Python, simply I have written the code for I in Y. So I will be set up value, Python interpreter, it will do, I will be set up, the condition it takes that, okay. Condition, why it takes the, how it takes the condition, because as I told you that the value, the total length will be taken. Total length is equal to what? How many values are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values are there. So index is equal to what? 5 minus 1. So last index 4. So it takes the 4 condition, itself it creates the condition I less than 4. Okay, the condition will be taken. So after that it goes every time it print out. Let us see. Now here I means, let us see what we are getting here. See, all that values, we are getting all the values one by one. True, 4J, 12.5, Vasu, last value printed. So the condition, Python interpreter, it needs to take what? Whenever I less than 4. Okay, so I less than 4. So I less than 4. So initially 0, at 0 index this will be printed, and at 1 this will be printed, at 3 1 0 1 2, at 2 2 less than 4, condition satisfied, okay, 0 1 2, so 12.5. Whenever 3 I 3, so 3 less than 4. So whenever after that it is incremented, 3 plus 1 4, so 4 is not less than 4, 4 is equal to 4, condition broken here. So in Python, no need to, as a programmer, very simple programming in Python. That is the beauty of the Python. In Java you need to write all these conditions, simple one line of code. For I is equal to what? Index. Otherwise that I, normally it will be considered as I means index value, okay. So here you are getting all the values. Now you want to get all the this set 4 times. Now you write like this: print bracket, what is that name? Value. Y is a set. The 4 times your set will be printed. 4 times. 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, and 4 starting at 1. This is 4 times. This is what? 4 times. 1 2 3, before this also 1. That is, where is that? 4 times, okay. So try to understand what is happening here. The print statement, what you have asked here, every element you are requesting for, element, printing of element value at at index level, but you are here, you have mentioned that y is a variable which is holding, where is the y is a variable which is holding all these values in a set. So every time set will be printed with the total values, with the total, every time the set will be printed with the total values, okay. Why? 1 time the total set is printed, after that true. So because before this statement you have written I, so first one element will be printed, then total set will be printed, next element will be printed, okay. Next element, this is next element 4J, next total set will be printed, next element will be printed. 2 print statements we are requesting, na? So as per my statement, what I have written here, we can access set values by for loop. So for loop can be used here. Loop is nothing but, don't confuse my students here. Loop will be used in programming language. It may be C, C++, Java, Python, C#, any language. Loops are compulsory, for loop and while loop, okay. And if else statements, they are called control statements, flow control statement, if else, okay. These are very compulsory. So for and while loop will be used to rotate. Loop means, many times I told you that iteration, travel, loop through, means every time the loop rotates through the values. So first value be printed, then next value, until the condition satisfied, loop rotates. So that is called for looping. Okay, so now if I want